This is some big news I have to share with you today about the Eagles. The news is coming, and it's on fire. The season is heating up. Today, my friend, you'll be surprised by what's been confirmed. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest news about our beloved team. From the outside, the Philadelphia Eagles look ready to soar toward another Super Bowl run. The roster is packed with stars on both sides of the court, bolstered by a coaching staff that knows how to build depth where it matters most. But just as the hype was at its peak, Bleacher Report's Alex Ballantyne slammed on the brakes, identifying a potentially fatal flaw in this powerhouse: the interior defensive line. Yes, the Eagles currently have over $31 million in salary cap space. But as Ballantyne points out, that margin may not be enough to fill the void left by an off-season talent exodus. Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, and Brandon Graham, who finished 2nd, 4th, and 5th on the team in pressure last season, are gone. Sweat and Williams hit free agency, and Graham, the team's beloved heartthrob, hung up his cleats for good. To make matters worse, Bryce Huff, who ranked 6th in pressure, was traded to the 49ers. Overnight, the most problematic part of the Eagles' defense, their ferocious pass rush, suddenly became the most uncertain. But here's the twist. This uncertainty may just be a harbinger of something bigger. Because while the experience was leaving, the positive potential simply entered. Enter Jalen Carter. Already one of the NFL's most dominant interior defenders, Carter is poised for stardom. His combination of brute strength, explosiveness, and intelligence makes him a formidable opponent for any offensive line. And he's not alone. Second-year edge rusher Nolan Smith quietly racked up 6.5 sacks in 2024 and is now poised to become a true anchor on the defensive line. And then there's the healer, Jalix Hunt. Still relatively unknown nationally, Hunt is a Vic Fangio product tailor-made for this defensive scheme. With elite athleticism and familiarity with the system, he's positioned to take over a starting role without missing a beat. The free agency additions may be the most underrated moves of the offseason. Azeez Ojulari, when healthy, has shown flashes of Pro Bowl potential. His speed and flexibility off the ball are elite traits, but his durability haunts him. Meanwhile, Josh Uche isn't just deep, he's a weapon. With 11.5 sacks in 2022, Uche proved he can change games in a rotational role. And that's exactly what the Eagles need: depth, disruption, and fresh legs late in games. Still, don't expect General Manager Howie Roseman to panic. He's seen this film before. He knows that training camp reveals things that video never adequately reveals. And he's built an unshakable confidence in the process, especially when it comes to the trenches. The Eagles' best defensive lines have never been based solely on names. They've been built in waves, a relentless rotation of players who can step up when needed. This new group, unproven? Yes, but hungry. And sometimes, hunger creates monsters. There's a quiet confidence growing in Philadelphia, a belief that this young core can explode. If so, the Eagles won't just replace what they lost. They can overcome it. But if we're talking about trench warfare, we need to shift the spotlight. Because while this defense is finding its identity, the front office may already have its heart set, and one man is turning heads across the league. His name? Landon Dickerson. And what an NFL coach just said about him has Eagles fans excited for what's next. When it comes to the cornerstones of a championship team, Landon Dickerson's name needs to be bold and in bold letters. The 26-year-old left guard has already built a legacy as one of the NFL's toughest and most reliable linemen. But now, in 2025, a new wave of praise is making an impact. And it's not just coming from fans or the media. It's coming directly from the league's most influential minds. In ESPN's recently released interior offensive lineman rankings, compiled through votes from NFL coaches, scouts, and executives, Dickerson ranked 5th. That alone is impressive. But what's even more revealing is what these insiders are predicting for his future, his best season yet. Think about it. This is a guy who battled a nagging knee injury all last season, barely missed a game, played 996 offensive snaps, a staggering 92% of the time, and still anchored the left side of a vulnerable line that paved the way for Saquon Barkley's record-breaking 2,500 rush season. You don't do that unless you're special. Pro Football Focus gave Dickerson a strong 79.2 grade for his performance, a clear indicator of consistency and dominance, even while playing injured. But it's not just about numbers. It's about presence, power, command, and coaches across the league are noticing. Explosive power. Wow, said a veteran offensive line coach. He's built to last. The organized chaos he creates at the line of scrimmage is top-notch. He's the kind of guy you build an identity around. However, a surprising statistic was reported. ESPN's stats showed Dickerson allowed 11 sacks, the most among players in the top 10. But here's the truth behind the numbers. 6 of them came in the first 7 weeks, when he was still clearly managing his knee. From week 8 through the Eagles' Super Bowl victory, virtually flawless. He allowed only a little pressure and no critical sacks during the playoff run. That's the mark of a warrior. Someone who doesn't just play through pain, but improves as the stakes rise. It's no wonder some coaches believe Dickerson is peaking, and fully healthy, he could contend for 3rd place among all NFL interior linemen. It's not just projection, it's timing. And for the Eagles, it couldn't come at a better time. In 2025, Dickerson will have more tasks than ever. Protect Jalen Hurts, clear the way for Saquon Barkley, lead a young offensive line adjusting to life after Jason Kelce. And if anyone is prepared to handle it all, it's Landon. What makes him even more valuable is that he's not just dominant, he's durable. He's a pace setter, a player who elevates those around him. Every time the Eagles need a short yardage conversion or a fourth quarter breakthrough, it's Dickerson up front, paving the way. And that's why next season could be his masterpiece. The Eagles aren't counting on him alone. They're building around him. Because when your point guard plays with the heart of a center, the toughness of a tackle, and the leadership of a captain, you have something rare. Now imagine Dickerson at peak form, in perfect sync with Barkley and Hurts. That's not just dangerous, it's championship talent. But speaking of Hurts, there's a firestorm brewing, because while Dickerson receives his flowers, the quarterback who just led this season to the Lombardi Trophy is facing one of the most intriguing rankings of the offseason, and Eagles Nation won't be quiet. How can a Super Bowl winning quarterback who led 2 championship campaigns in just 5 years be considered only the 9th best in the NFL? That's the question Eagles fans are asking after ESPN released its rankings of the top 10 QBs for 2025. Jalen Hurts barely made the list, coming in at 9th, despite many sharing one of the most complete seasons of his career. The reasoning? Some evaluators still doubt his consistency as a passer, but let's look at the bigger numbers. Hurts led all QBs in completion percentage above expected, plus 6.6%, and threw arguably the best long pass in the NFL. Just ask Devonta Smith about that Super Bowl touchdown. He rushed for 10-plus touchdowns for the 4th consecutive year, an NFL record, and threw just 5 interceptions in 2024, after throwing 15 in 2023. That's a significant improvement. He wasn't just a game manager. He was a finisher, a spark, and the heart of the offense. And here's the crux. Hurts did all of this with 5 different offensive coordinators over 5 seasons. That kind of turmoil would derail most QBs, but it doesn't hurt. He thrives under pressure and never complains. He simply wins. Even so, analysts continue to treat him like a question mark. Some say he needs a strong running game to thrive. Others have compared him to a young Russell Wilson, but no one can argue with the results. A 24/7 record as a starter over the last 2 years, over 6,500 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, and 23 rushing touchdowns. If that's the 9th best QB in the league, then maybe the ranking system is broken. One thing is certain, Hurts doesn't care about lists. He cares about titles. And with this roster and this hunger, he might even get another one. With a defensive line on the defensive, one of the NFL's best guards playing at his peak, and a Super Bowl champion quarterback being underrated, are we ready for the Eagles' most dangerous run in years? Or will these challenges prevent another historic run? Leave your opinion. Here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, but I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.